All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between NightEnd versus Cooper. This game taking place here on Twisted Meadows. This is part of the ESL Pro Tour European Qualifier, and well, there were no observers, so I have to end up using or turning off Fog of War, which means, well, unfortunately, any map bugs are just going to present themselves. NightEnd has spawned as the red undead here at what I'll call the 8 o'clock position. Meanwhile, on the on this side of the map, CSC's Cooper spawning as the blue orc. Orc versus undead, and I don't know if this game will be as entertaining as the last. Thank you for the follow, as things are already getting underway. Hero choices have really been favoring Farseer going up against the Crypt Lord. I think the Farseer is more of a reaction to the Crypt Lord, as that Crypt Lord and the potential threat of the Crypt Lord is a very, very big deal. With that said, of course, NightEnd going with the classic Death Knight, and of course, Cooper going for the classic Blade Master. All that said, predictions out the window. Blade Master, the long-time go-to hero for many orc players, as this meta is constantly shifting. How are things going to be unfolding here? Acolyte shifting around as well. Grunts getting trained on up. And, well, Tomb of Relics coming into play. Mass ghouls, as that graveyard is now coming online. Alright, there was something on my XSplit that was confusing me a little bit. Had to go ahead and take care of that. Now, Twisted Meadows, a rather large map, as many players know, a lot of gold mines, and, well, both NightEnd and Cooper aren't really known for, well, mass expansion types of play. We'll see if Death Knight is going to perhaps make its way off to north and try and perhaps cancel this, what I call the Blade Master trap. Blade Master wind walks right here and ends up trapping this rock golem between, well, a grunt and a Blade Master. Blade Master gonna go ahead and take a lot of damage here. Forest Troll Berserker is right there as the Death Knight getting in a lot of damage on that Blade Master. Blade Master gonna be forced to wind walk as that Blade Master quickly sells an item and makes its way back. I realize I should be looking at Cooper's point of view, otherwise I cannot see the Blade Master on this minimap, as the Blade Master does need to use some healing salves. Back across here, we already see Necropolis teching to tier 2. Great Hall doing the same thing as well. Death Knight wants to land a Death Coil, perhaps to just disrupt that healing, as the Burrow just launching enough spears to keep that Death Knight at bay. Well, harassing your opponent or just trying to keep your opponent from doing all too much. Cooper is Blade Master going to be getting back up to 400 hit points easily, as the Death Knight has to consider its options as well. Let's take a look. Death Knight trying to, well, get away. What is going on here? Where is the Death Knight going? It looks like NightEnd was just trying to disrupt Cooper's creeping, but it doesn't really have a follow-up plan. Usually it's people trapped between rocks and the hard place. Yep, trapped between a grunt and a Blade Master. Kind of trying to be literal and trying to be, well, yeah, that was the obvious reference. Trapped between a Blade Master and a grunt. He's trying to lose weight. All right, coming back around side. Yeah, the Death Knight just trying to lose weight. Even in death, people are really concerned about their appearance, hence the reason why he walked around the map the entire time. No, the real reason is that the Death Knight didn't have a large enough army to really do any creeping himself. So what can he do except use that time to harass that Blade Master, so the Blade Master isn't free to creep. Now that there are Crypt Fiends and Skeletal Minions out onto the field, the Death Knight can effectively creep going up against these earlier creep camps. Meanwhile, back off to the north and the south here, we're going to be looking at the end of tier 2 here in just a moment. And with that, we should be looking at perhaps the training of a Lich for Frost Armor and also getting up that Slaughterhouse. It's no longer the meta to go Blade Master first, so this is somewhat odd play. This is somewhat odd play, but this is also a classic play. In in a lot of matches, sometimes you just want to go with that tried and true strategy. Crypt Fiend going to be making its way back onto the Blight here. There is going to be that Halls of the Dead as slowing down that Blade Master. Blade Master ventured forth a little bit too much and now going to, well, slowly walk away. Frost Armor is going to be the first ability coming in from that Lich, and there is that Slaughterhouse for those Obsidian statues. Tier 2 being able to have access to, to Essence of Blight, being able to do a lot of healing. Blade Master absorbing quite a bit of damage, and with those Boots of Quel'Thalas, being able to tank a lot of that damage as it's close to almost 8 armor. Blade Master, Crypt Fiend continuing to battle it out. There's a critical strike there as the Blade Master will be backing up. What is the second hero going to be? It will be that Shadow Hunter, as we're looking at the Grunt purposely, well, is it trying to clear out this creep camp? It is, leading many of these creeps away and now making their way back down. NightEnd gonna go ahead and go after the remainder of this 5-3-3 creep camp. NightEnd's Death Knight still sitting at level 1 after all this time. Meanwhile, the Blade Master going after the Rock Golem here. Many of the Grunts, however, not engaging and just absorbing damage. That's not what you want to be doing here, but getting a good surround on that Rock Golem to finish him off. Gauntlets of Ogre Strength +3 and Scroll of the Beast. Healing Salve Charge wants to be used, but it doesn't have a really good target as of yet, as that Grunt finally backs away. Where's that Healing Salve? And picking up that Scroll of the Beast right there, as that Blade Master will get to level 3. Coming back around, Death Knight now sitting at level 2. Lich on the field with Frost Armor on both heroes. More of a cautionary measure to prevent that Blade Master from being able to really burst down and finish off any of those units. Belt of Giant Strength picked up by the Death Knight. A little bit of extra strength right there, as there goes an Ogre Warrior. A quick Hex onto a Crypt Fiend. Crypt Fiend now having Frost Armor, trying to protect itself, as that Blade Master was still walking very quickly but unable to attack as fast. Lich now in trouble, down to 192 hit points. There's a Windwalk Strike. Death Knight unable. Is he going to be able to get in front? No, he is not. And that Scroll of Speed counteracting the movement debuff, and it looks like, well, Cooper is just out for blood, and it is undead blood that he is killing. Crypt Fiend and, well, Liches. Grunts now looking to back away, even on a Blight, even with an Obsidian statue. That Shadow Hunter has, well, really made its presence known, as that Crypt Fiend now down to 139 hit points. Is it going to be able to head back there? Yes, protected by the Death Knight, pushed into the back. All right, Cooper unable to ensure that last kill there. Blade Master sitting at level 3, Shadow Hunter sitting at level 1, getting in some good burst bits of damage. Meanwhile, the Lich, well, back out, ready to move as it picks up an Orb of Corruption. We are upgrading to Fortress, which means a fast expansion attempt from Cooper is in fact possible. And we'll see whether or not that is going to well, really pay off. I don't see any expansions even cleared out as of yet. And that's normally one of the greatest strengths of an Orc player, being able to set up an expansion so quickly once it gets to tier 3. Death Knight going to be in a little bit of trouble. Death Knight does not have Dust of Appearance. It is right next to a Goblin Laboratory, though. Blade Master is available, and is the Blade Master going to get the kill? Does he get the item? Yes, he does, and the Blade Master picks up and steals the Sobi Mask. 116 critical strike, now going after the Obsidian statue. It has Frost Armor. Blade Master needs to get away, has a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, but simply just going to wait for that, well, that Sobi Mask to give it the necessary mana. All right, going after that Lich now. Should not really be sticking around. Cooper perhaps having his attention focused elsewhere. Shadow Hunter with a Scroll of the Beast. Blade Master nearby. Lich and NightEnd is gonna get creep jacked in a very bad way right here. Ogre Magi and all of these units. Blade Master going after all of this, and all of a sudden NightEnd is dealing not only with an orange creep camp, but with well, a level a 34 supply army just barreling down on him. Well, 33 supply actually. Colors. Anyways, Blade Master now looking to finish off the remainder of this creep camp as the Tauren Chieftain is out on the battlefield. Alright, does he have a tiny Great Hall? He does not. Blade Master, Tauren Chieftain does have that Orb of Lightning though, and we'll see, is it going to be transferred over? Yes, it is transferred to that Blade Master, as the Blade Master wants to be able to attack and, well, slow down those destroyers. coming back through. Death Knight going up against the Ogre Warriors down to the south here. NightEnd still doing the classic, just building up his army and getting up the hero levels necessary for that undead here. We are looking at a Dark Ranger as the third hero. Dark Ranger with silence, able to shut down the Tauren Chieftain's stomps in addition to that Blade Master's wind walks, preventing him from always having a get out of jail free card. Tauren Chieftain gonna go ahead and absorb a little bit of damage here. Shadowhunter sitting at level 2 should be able to get to level 3 in just a moment. Blade Master gets up to level 4, level 2 Windwalk and level 2 Critical Strike now available as another Scroll of the Beast now dropped. Scroll of the Beast, Mantle of Intelligence. Grunt's going to try and engage. There's a major Frost Nova slowing down many of those units. And we see a Silence go down onto that Tauren Chieftain as well. Grunt could end up getting taken down. There it goes, finishes it off as well, as we are looking at that level 2 Lich, level 1 Dark Ranger, level 3 Death Knight with actually plus 7 armor. Very difficult to kill. A couple of things to note. Because the Lich did go for Frost Armor second, it is going to be quite some time before Dark Ritual is really exceptionally mana efficient alongside that Dark Ranger. Dark Ranger will need to be able to get to level 2 Black Arrow first, so that those skeletal minions have more hit points before the Dark Ritual really starts taking an effect and you're able to blast away your opponent. Blade Master very much nearby, keeping track of all of these units here. Meanwhile, off to the north, Tauren Chieftain looking to get to level 2 for a major damage bonus for the majority of the army with that attack speed and movement speed bonus here. Alright, Peon's going to get into position. Do we see a Tiny Great Hall? Yes, we do. Tiny Great Hall going to be set up and setting up an expansion off here for now. Should not be a problem, as we may be able to see a couple, maybe even a Watchtower or an Orc Burrow offering a bit of protection. Units now making their rounds again. The army of, well, Cooper slowly rotating around, and it wants to be, it's actually trying to do a good job of protecting its expansion. He has a good idea of where NightEnd is, and by engaging and moving down in a position just like this, he's able to creep while staying relatively close to home. Tauren Chieftain in that frontline spot, absorbing a lot of damage, isn't going to get healed up. There it goes. Well, there goes that one unit. Pendant of Mana going to be given to the Shadowhunter, and the Shadowhunter with a Sobi Mask and a Pendant of Mana with over 600 mana, that Shadowhunter will be healing for days. That Tauren Chieftain, that Blade Master should not fall, and in a game of endurance, all of a sudden things are going to go sideways very fast. Alright, Death Coil saving that Dark Ranger. There is a giant stomp right there. Death Knight going after some of those units in the back. Tauren Chieftain still having plenty of mana. Shadowhunter having a mana a lot as well, as we should be looking at some more stomps going down here. No Dust of Appearance. Blade Master going after some Obsidian statues. 207 Critical Strike, finishing off some of them right there, as the Tauren Chieftain gets in another stomp. There's a Dust of Appearance revealing some more units. There is a Silence onto the Shadowhunter, as the healing wave still bouncing around, as the Tauren Chieftain gets in another stomp once more. There goes another Crypt Fiend again, as the Raiders are starting to fall. 41 supply compared to 50. Cooper having the supply advantage as the Death Knight gets up to level 4. Crypt Fiend, however, going to fall, giving level 3 to that Tauren Chieftain. The Tauren Chieftain now sitting at level 3, does not have mana, however, for a level 2 stomp, continuing to fight its way through, as another Crypt Fiend going to get lost as well. Shadowhunter just shy of level 4. There it is, now level 4, getting level 2 Hex, as this burrowed Crypt Fiend is not going to be revealed anytime soon. Alright, Dark Ranger trying to back up, but that's pretty much all that NightEnd has at this point. 3 heroes and an Obsidian statue, and that is it. Tauren still trying to make rounds, trying to go after all these units, as the Shadowhunter still has 300 mana after all of this time. Going after unit, is it going to be enough? There is Silence once more, as the Shadowhunter just running around every which way. It's going to back away temporarily, finishing off that Obsidian statue in the process. Headhunter now backing up, and well, everyone pretty much lost everything. 36 supply compared to 43. The heroes, all that are pretty much left. Are we going to see a Hex? Yes, Hex onto the Death Knight. Death Knight gets, well, no, that's the Dark Ranger, gets taken down, as a Hex onto the Death Knight would be a very big deal indeed. No Scroll of Speed. Are we going to see a Hex on to the Shadowhunter? No, we are not, as that burrowed Crypt Fiend is, well, currently just sticking its head in the sand. Tauren Chieftain says, you know what, I will guarantee a kill right there. Let me buy some Dust of Appearance. I'll come back around as the units are going to be engaging here in just a second. All right, Spirit Walker, Spirit Link getting cast. Death Coil saving that Lich at the last possible moment. Again, Tauren Chieftain out onto the field. There is a stomp. That's going to be the death of a Crypt Fiend once more, as the Death Knight does not have mana for Death Coil. All right, low hit point Crypt Fiend trying to back away. Looks like he'll be able to do exactly that. Another Ghoul getting taken down as we are still fighting through. Spirit Link getting cast as the Spirit Walkers are there, and Cooper takes the game. All right, Cooper takes the game, able to really push back in that last battle. Tauren Chieftain, once it got to level 3, completely shifted the pacing of that match. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed it.